Welcome to Mike's Miniatures, the place for all things mini wargaming. And in today's Faction Friday episode, we're going to talk about an obscure Space Marine chapter known as the Hospitallers. Now, the Hospitallers are a fleet-based chapter here. They are a relatively young, obscure, official Games Workshop Space Marine chapter. And ironically, the colors of the faction here are kind of opposite of the Black Templars, but they could be easily mistaken for Black Templars. As you can tell from this fun little meme thing that I came with, it's hilarious that Templars were white and Hospitallers were black, and in the 40k universe, they've switched places here. But yeah, the Hospitallers are from the 24th founding or during the 39th millennium, and they are successors of the Imperial Fists. So therefore part of the Last Wall Protocol if you wanted to create that army, and having Primarch Rogel Dorn. Their current leader in the lore is Merkel Alafran, and they are a fleet-based chapter, though they don't have any kind of fortress monastery or main flagship as far as I could tell. I could be wrong and need to update that down the road, but as far as I was able to read, just doing a quick cursory glance at the lore of these guys here, they're just fleet based, and they help protect and work with the space navy of the Imperium and guarding trade routes and things like that, and protecting pilgrims on their way to Holy Terra, very much like Hospitallers of ancient of our Earth history here. Their main colors are white, red, silver, and they have a yellow trim, but their chapter symbol is the exact same as the Black Templars, but instead of being black on a white field, it's red on a white field. And this is how I would definitely start an army of these guys. It's since they are basically like Black Templars, just white in space. I just might as well just as a quick, easy for to keep it under 4 boxes here. Just get the Black Templar Combat Patrol twice right here. That'll give you 2 marshals or captains, up to 10 intercessors, and the Crusader squad could be split up rather than keep them as a Crusader squad if you didn't keep them in the same rules as a Black Templar, but as a generic Space Marine chapter. You would then have 10 Assault Intercessors, an 8-man Scout squad, and then 2 extra models that you could probably say are your Shieldless Blade Guard, or take one of the Captain Marshals, and there's your 3-man squad of Blade Guard veterans that just don't have shields, and you could probably custom make those on your own. You also would come with 2 vehicles, 2 impulsors for transportation, and then I would definitely, for characters to help lead the army, if you didn't want the marshal that's thematic, you could do a chaplain and an apothecary. Ironically, and well, not ironically, but along with the Hospitallers of our Earth history, this chapter, they kind of mirror that, and they have a lot more apothecaries than normal Space Marine chapters. So if you wanted to kit bash any of them to look like they have parts like an apothecary, but still say they're generic Space Marines, or have more than one apothecary in the army, I don't see in a friendly store game or whatnot that you can't just do that. Maybe in official rule set or official Warhammer tournaments, you probably can't do that, but that's what I would do just in my local hobby store if I were to start this army. Just say, hey, this is just my generic army here. And the best part with getting the 2 box sets for the combat patrols is you have all the shoulder pads that already have the symbol already put in, and so you don't have to freehand or find transfers or print off transfers of the red color. You can just paint them red. Now, not everybody will want to run them as like a Black Templar, or as a Black Templar kind of an army, which is what I probably would do. You could probably just do it as generic Space Marines, like I said earlier. And instead of getting these guys, there's an alternative, a slightly cheaper route in some cases here. And that's just starting a generic Space Marine army by getting the Ultimate Starter Set box here. That'll give you your Captain and Terminator armor, a Librarian and Terminator armor, plus 5 Infernus Marines and 5 Terminators to get you going. I would then definitely get a box of Assault Intercessors. That would give you 10, and the Apothecary. And just to keep up with the vehicle, you get a Brutalis Ballistus Dreadnought there. And in the Ultimate box, you obviously will get a bunch of Tyranid models that you don't necessarily need. Maybe give those to a friend or sell them off on eBay who wants to help get into the Warhammer. That's probably what I would do. And what you would need to paint up this army in that iconic color scheme, after building and priming them in whatever color you want, I would just base coat it with Wraithbone to get you that base coat of the white, Abaddon Black for the inner jumpsuit like any other Marine, Lead Belcher for all the silver bits, especially their helmets. Their helmets are actually all silver, it's not black. The trim is, I use Demonic Yellow from the Army Painter to get that bright yellow versus Averland Sunset, but you could go either way. Mephiston Red for all the red bits and Rhinoxide for the leather. I washed this model with some Agrex Earthshade before I layered on the matte white from Army Painter to give it the brightness and for the shadows. But you can do Known Oil if you want it to be darker, and then do Wraithbone instead of the matte white if you wanted to, and that would work just as fine. And this is really the Hospitallers. You could really customize them, paint them up the way you see fit. And that's been the video here for this Faction Friday. Please like and subscribe, follow and comment what other Space Marine chapter you'd like me to do next. Until then, bye-bye.